Jenkins. Put your questions in the chat, and I'll call on you. First question's from Luke Johnson.
Malcolm, a lot of guys on the team have seen it before, but this is your first year here, so I'm just wondering what it's like to know that you got a guy like Will Lutz you can count on in those kind of clutch situations, especially in conditions like they were today.
I always like to think of kickers as good insurance, always there kind of when you need it. So, obviously this is a tight game on the road with some weather, so we knew that our kicking game was going to be huge in this game, and obviously that showed up at the end.
Next one's from Larry Holder.
Look, those last 4 years, the Saints have won a lot of these type of games, and I know this is your first year back and seeing all this. What do you make is like the key element to you guys really winning these grinded out type of games? And now you've won basically 4 of those almost in a row.
Yeah, well, I think the biggest thing is faith in each other and in the team and the scheme. But I think Sean Payton did a great job of preparing us, for that mindset this week. We knew it was going to be a tough, grinded out type of game, against a really solid opponent, really good defense. So we knew coming into this it would be, low scoring, that it would be about field position and stops, and so when we got into those spaces, we weren't very surprised and were prepared for it. So I think, a lot of that has to do with coaching, and a lot of that has to do with faith in each other, and being ready for that.
Next one's from Amy Just.
I don't know if you had a good angle on it, but what happened with Wims and CJ Gardner-Johnson, have you ever seen anything like that happen in a game before?
I didn't really get a chance to see it. I was on the opposite side of the field. So by the time I saw it, I just saw, kind of a skirmish and went to go break it up. But, some things happen. I didn't really get to see what exactly took place, but I know it's a passionate game played by passionate men. But obviously we want to keep it within the game. So we'll see what the film is. But I thought he did a good job of keeping his poise throughout the rest of the game and making sure it was about ball, all about ball.
Next one's from Nick Underhill.
It seems like you guys are making, progress each week. There's some red zone stops this week, but I mean, what's it going to take to get the consistency to stop those explosive plays that seem to show up every week?
Well, I only think they may have had a couple here or there. I think when we look at it league-wide where we are with explosive plays, we're really not. We're in the top 5. So we're not giving up a ton every game. Obviously, when you're in tight games like this, sometimes they make plays. But the key is obviously getting stops in the red zone, and that's something that we're going to continue to improve on, continue to work on. But obviously, big plays, we don't want to give up any, but they happen. The other team gets paid too.
Next one's from Andrew Doak.
Hey, Malcolm, 2-parter if I could. What was your reaction to the Demario Davis fumble that then was called dead? And the second part, Sean decides to punt it away on that first drive in overtime. I feel like that shows a lot of faith in how the defense was playing in the second half. What do you feel like that does for y'all's defense in that moment?
Yeah, so for the first question, I thought, that was going to be a huge play in our favor. I thought it was a great job by Demario to get that ball out, but they said if forward progress was stopped, which means we can't challenge it. So that's a big call, obviously, when you talk about the result of the game. But in overtime, for Shauna to allow us to get on the field and trust in us, I think, one shows how we were playing. And it was a tight game that he felt comfortable with, but at the end of the day, it's a team thing, and he understands that a team is going to win it, and that's offense, defense, kicking game. So it wasn't necessarily surprising.
Last one's from Luke Johnson.
Yeah, good question to close it off. What goes into the mindset of changing between heads and tails? The start of the time.
So I'm a bit of a rebel, so I always call heads, but I had a lot of voices on the sideline saying to call tails, so I had to go against my own better judgment and go with what the team wanted, and luckily it was tails.
All right, we're all set. Thank you, Malcolm.
Yep.